Well, hello everyone. Happy first announcement of Halloween Horror Nights 34. That's right, today we got our first official announcement. Fallout is coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2025. If you've been paying attention, technically we had a little bit of an announcement on Sunday, but today was the first official house announcement. Fallout coming to both Halloween Horror Nights Orlando and Hollywood for 2025. And then today we also received single night tickets as well as tickets for a few special events that we'll talk about here in a moment. But before I get into the video, I want to introduce myself just in case it's the first video of mine that you've ever seen. Hi, I am Liz. I am a diehard Halloween Horror Nights Orlando fan. I have been attending the event since 2001. And here on my channel, I discuss all the news, rumors, speculation, announcements like today, and come the fall, I vlog from the event. So if you love Halloween Horror Nights, if you love spooky content, make sure to click to subscribe. For all my lovely loyal viewers, thanks for watching yet again. Spooky season can officially start. We've had announcements this week. Let's discuss them. So first of all, back on Sunday, we had a very surprise tweet from Universal. Randomly at about 8:45 p.m. on Sunday evening, we got a Five Nights at Freddy's teaser that says, Five Nights at Freddy's is coming in a whole new way to this year's Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights in both Hollywood and Orlando. More details coming soon. Now the speculation is that Five Nights at Freddy's, they were doing a panel at a convention and let this slip. So Universal had to jump on this on a Sunday night at a random time to at least acknowledge that yes, it is happening, to try to contain the leak. So we don't know officially what's coming, but based on the rumors we have heard, at least for Orlando, we are getting a Five Nights at Freddy's house. I'm still assuming that's happening. Now, whether or not we're getting some sort of bonus Five Nights at Freddy's content or some sort of strange twist on a Five Nights at Freddy's house, I'm not sure, but I'm still pretty positive this is going to be a house on both coasts, and we'll see what else we get as far as bonus. But yeah, a strange teaser on a Sunday night for Five Nights at Freddy's. What do you guys think? Obviously it wasn't a surprise if you've been watching my videos because this has been a rumor for a while. What do you think? I know it's going to bring a whole bunch of teenagers to Halloween Horror Nights, but other than that, I haven't watched the movie yet. I have a concept, I've watched the game online, so I get the premise, but we'll see when they finally announce this experience in the future of what it will officially be. So then moving on to today, I'm gonna talk about the announcement first, and then we can talk about the tickets after. But today we received the news that Fallout will officially be a house at Halloween Horror Nights Orlando and Hollywood. Their tweet said, "There's no sheltering from this horror. See if you can survive the nuclear apocalypse as you're immersed in Fallout." And there was a teaser video that I will link down below. Plus, we got a press release. So let me read from the press release. For the first time ever, horror fans will step into the post-apocalyptic wasteland of Prime Video's Fallout in an all-new terrifying haunted house at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. So yes, this is going to be based on the TV show. Obviously, the TV show is based on the game, but this house is going to be following the premise of the TV show. Based on the award-winning global video game franchise from Bethesda Games, Fallout was a critically acclaimed hit with audiences worldwide when it debuted on Prime Video in 2024. The cinematic series is set in the year 2296, 200 years after a nuclear war destroyed civilization. All that is left is an eradicated and highly violent hellscape known as the Wasteland, crawling with mutated animals and creatures, while gentle citizens take refuge underground in luxury fallout shelters known as vaults. In this terrifying haunted house, fans will encounter iconic scenes and characters that will put them into the frightening action of the popular series. The journey begins beneath the surface in Vault 33, where guests follow vault dweller Lucy McLean as she escapes a bloody massacre, only to discover an evil hidden secret. From there, visitors venture to the surface where they must dodge attacks from scavengers and raiders, desperate survivors who will do anything to remain alive, as well as mutated cockroaches known as rad roaches. As guests travel through the hellish wasteland, They will go through iconic locations such as Super Duper Mart and encounter the Ghoul, an ageless bounty hunter who has endured radiation exposure for centuries. Additionally, they will come face to face with a young squire named Maximus and gaze in awe at his T-60 armor. With frightful terrors at every turn of the eerily authentic haunted house, fans will question if they can ever escape the horrors of the wasteland. So there's your description for Fallout. It's pretty descriptive. Like, there's a lot of information in there. I have yet to watch this series. I am probably going to binge it this weekend. So if you've watched the show, I feel like that gives you probably a very good path of what we're going to be seeing in this house. It gives the characters, it gives the setting, it gives some scenes directly from the show. So if you are familiar, I am sure you are either stoked or I don't know what other emotion you could be. If you're a fan, I'm sure you're stoked right now. I feel like they did a really good job of actually cluing you in if you are a fan. I have heard that I'm going to love the show. I'm a big sci-fi fan, and I think this has some 1950s, 60s vibes to the set, so I think I'm going to really enjoy it. I have a vague knowledge of the game, so I know the premise. I think based on the TV show and the clips I have seen that I think it will translate well to a Halloween Horror Nights house. Rumor has it this is going to be in one of the tents, I believe one of the new tents. So it's one of those massive brand new ones that's basically the same as being in the parade building. So there's a lot of potential there. And I think it worked. On top of having the house announcement, we also got the first merch drop, which I'm going to share some pictures here that were taken by Ash, who was on the RIP Tour podcast with me. So sharing these courtesy of Ash. But we have a new shirt. And namely, we have this stained glass item that is amazing. I want it. It's going to have a different magnet from each IP that goes into the window. And even though I'm not a giant IP fan and I probably won't like all the IPs that are announced, this is such a cool souvenir and such a cool way of releasing the houses that I'm gonna have to buy it. It's gonna be a must purchase. So that was the preview merch today that went up in the 5 and Dime and over at All Hallows Boutique. So if you're at Universal sometime soon, go check those out if you want a Fallout shirt, Fallout mug, or that stained glass window thing that's awesome. Go to Universal soon. So that's the house announcement. Let's talk a little bit about these tickets. So today we got the single night tickets released, but we also got the announcement that premium Scream Night is back. I am a little surprised about that. I did not think they were going to bring it back, but it's back. We also have Single Night Express, RIP Tours, Unmasking the Horror, and Scream Early tickets. So for your single night tickets, it looks like the prices are ranging anywhere from $83 up to $123 per person. And that of course just depends on what night you're selecting. Saturday nights are going to be the most expensive. If you pick a Wednesday in the middle of September, that's probably gonna be in that $83 price point. Everything in October gets more into the $100 price point. And if you're looking at Single Night Express, that also is quite the premium this year. They are starting at $140. It's $139.99 starting price for a single night of Express. In fact, they just went ahead and rounded it up to $140 on the calendar. You're looking at a few dates that have that $140 price point. I see a lot of 150s, a lot of 160s, up to basically $200 for the majority of October, with the maximum price being $260 for one night of Express in October on a Saturday. So you're looking at anywhere from $140 up to $260 per person per night for Express. It is, it's getting real crazy for those Express passes these days. We also have the premium Scream Night, which if you followed last year, it came nowhere close to selling out. I have a feeling it'll do better this year because everyone saw the experience that people had last year, and it might sell out this year just based on how many people didn't go last year and it was empty. We'll see. I don't really know what the demand will be, but this is a one night only event. It's going to be on August 28th, so the night before opening night. You get access to all of the houses with much lower crowds, staggered entry, so you get to be pulsed through the house, and certain food and drink is included with your ticket price, which is $375 per person pre-tax. So it's a hefty amount, but if you're traveling in and you're not going to have a frequent fear pass, it's a good way to see everything in one night. I feel like it's kind of a different experience because you're going through the houses the night before opening night, so you are the original guinea pigs, and I don't know. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's likely an amazing time, but I just don't know if it's something that I would put my money toward as a local. Also, they brought back the Scream early tickets. This is the stay and Scream for individuals who don't have an annual pass. That is $55 per person. You get into the park at 3 p.m. and get to have a little bit of park time prior to Halloween Horror Nights. You're paying $55 to have 2 hours in Universal prior to Halloween Horror Nights. You still have to have a Halloween Horror Nights ticket on top of that. Now, the other two experiences that went on sale today were the RIP tours and the Unmasking the Horror tours. RIP tours are guided tours of a single night of the event. You can either do a public RIP tour or a private RIP tour. On the website, the only thing you can book is the public tour. That one you just pay per person. You will get paired with other groups of people to go on this tour. So if you only have like 2 or 3 people, maybe like 5 people in your group, and you want to do an RIP tour, the public one would be for you. You pay $350-ish. That's the starting price. It definitely goes up to in the 400s depending on the popularity of the night that you're choosing to go. On this, you have a guide who takes you to the front of the line at every house. They give you the backstory of the houses before you go in. Your group can decide kind of how the night goes and whether or not you do shows, when you do planned break time as a group, and then often you do get to repeat a house or two at the end of the night, but you do have to have park admission on top of that. So that is just your tour. You also have to have a ticket into the event. So that's the RIP, the public tour. The private tour is something that you have to call and book. That is for, I believe, up to 10 people. And if you have 10 people in your party, or you have less than that and you're just okay with paying a premium, those I think run in the $5,000 range. So if you have 10 people, it's about $500 per person. Do not quote me on this. I have not called to get this year's rates, but I'm just giving you a ballpark figure of what they have run in the past. So you're looking at roughly $500 a person if you have a group of 10. That way you and your group are the only people on this tour with your guide. That gives you a little more control of how the night goes. You're not paired with strangers. You're not paired with people that just want to get drunk a lot and like be more rowdy than you, or if you want to be rowdy, you can be rowdy in your group. It just gives you more control over the situation, but obviously you pay a premium for that. So those are the RIP tours. Unmasking the Horror, that is the daytime tour where you either do a 3-house tour or a 6-house tour. You don't find out what houses those are going to be until pretty close to the event, but there's dates all throughout Halloween Horror Nights to go on these tours. You sometimes get to take pictures, sometimes you don't, depending on if there's an IP house or various rules that they set. But your guide takes you through the house, tells you a whole bunch of behind the scenes information about the scenes, about the houses. You get to take time to see all the details that they put in. It is a long day if you do the 6-house tour. It is a very long day, but it's a very cool experience. I think the fans should all do at least once. I have done it once. I did a 3-house tour a long time ago. If it's something that you have in the budget, it is a really cool way to get to see the detail that you won't get to see if you're just breezing through a house in a conga line. It's a fun option, and this year it looks like they are including, for the 6-house tour, a buffet style lunch. So the past few years, they've done the first chunk of houses, released you to go on a lunch break, and then you had to meet back up in order to do the second group of houses. And I believe they just sent you out into City Walk or the park where it was up to you to decide where you wanted to have lunch. Now there will be a buffet lunch included, so I think that's a lot more convenient. I think that will help drive people to want to book the 6-house tour, and I think that was a good choice. They're neat, they are pricey. Again, depends on what day you're going. All the prices are online on the website, and you can find out, depending on what day, you are picking. But I will tell you that the 6 house one does book up early, especially for things like opening weekend. So if you want to do a tour, make sure you have those plans set quickly. The 3 houses, there's more of them. The 6 houses, because it's such a long day, those do book up fast. There you go. Those are your tickets and special experiences. Multi-night tickets won't come until probably sometime in July. That's the norm. And we'll see what tickets are available then. We got about a month to wait, I think, for that. That is all I have for today. 2 quick announcements and some tickets. We have our next preview merch, but I think we're gonna be on a streak of announcements now. Next Friday is Friday the 13th. Based on a certain house that we have rumored for this year, if Halloween Horror Nights doesn't take the opportunity to announce that house next Friday, I will be shocked. Expect to see me back here next Friday evening because I will have to scramble to film and put it out that same evening. But I just can't see them passing up that opportunity. So that's my guess. Big announcement next Friday. Fingers crossed. Let's hope the rumor's real. And I will see you guys then. So stay safe and stay spooky. Bye.